Welcome again, Virgo. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au with your month of July 2016 reading, brief overview of what's going on in your horoscope. And really the first thing that I see here is quite a good and favourable omen with your ruling planet moving in the 11th house of the horoscope with the Sun and Venus, also very, very friendly to you. Normally the 11th house has a lot to do with the fulfillment of desires, increase in profits, stronger networking and the acquisition of new friendships. And particularly because on the 5th we see the new moon taking place in this area. Pardon me, better get a drink. What this means effectively is that this is a new chapter in your life, and in that specific area, particularly socially, this can be the time when you do make new friends, create new opportunities for yourself. Now it's interesting because what came to mind as I was saying that was the fact that in some of the ancient spiritual branches of astrology, they consider this 11th house to be an unfavourable house. And you probably wonder why that would be, given that it is supposed to fulfill your dreams and give you, some sort of opportunity, financially or socially. And the reason is that spirituality, according to them anyhow, is supposed to be the dispassionate shift away from material acquisition, the desireless state as they call it. And so for that reason it has been shunned. It's apparently poison to, acquire too many things in life, to be too successful, because then we become addicted to that, and to overcome those desires, which is the goal of spirituality, becomes all that more difficult. I think we have to tread the middle path, as the Buddha said, and balance the daily duties and responsibilities that we have, the acquisition of things, and it's only natural to desire things. We want to have friendship, we want to have a good quality of life. To balance that against the awareness stage, the spiritual stage of coming into contact with our true inner selves. So all I'm saying there is just find that balance. The new moon, which occurs on the 5th, is an important one for you, taking place in that 11th house, near to Mercury and Venus. Obviously there are opportunities for love this month. There are genuinely good opportunities for you to increase your profitability, especially if you're an independent business person, someone who's working in dealing with people or social groups, teaching, mediating between people. All of those sort of areas are going to function very, very well with these particular planets and that specific full moon. I'm just bringing up now the transits for the month so I can see in a little bit more detail the sequence. I want to keep it more thematic, as I've been saying over the past few months, and I think it's important to see also that the other pole of that specific new moon is the full moon that takes place on the 20th, and that is going to take place in your 5th house of love affairs, creativity, finding your inner child, and also very near to the planet Pluto, which is a very transformative planet and brings with it some unique opportunities. And it's funny because I'm looking at all of these social opportunities, these networking opportunities, along with this full moon on the 20th, which tells me that you may have the chance of meeting people now that are going to really transform your life. So that's, to me, tying in the material component, the fulfillment of your desires, along with that spiritual component. In other words, meeting someone who can act as a catalyst through that networking to help further deepen your spiritual awareness. So I've always been of the opinion and tend to have a bit of a chuckle when people come to me and say, well, Dadhichi, I just don't have time to do my spiritual work and my meditation and my yoga. And I laugh because to me, and this for me, this month for you, Virgo, is pretty much the theme. To me, it's like the work you're doing, the day-to-day responsibilities that you're fulfilling are the spiritual work that you need to do. There's no divorcing what you're doing right this moment from that spiritual awareness. So could I say to you, if you bring that spiritual awareness into the moment, then there's no need to grapple over what hour of the day is going to be spiritual, what hour of the day is going to be material. It's basically an amalgamation of the inner and the outer. You find a homogeneous sort of relationship between the two. Bringing that awareness into it is the way forward. And in short, those two critical dates, the 5th and the 20th, to me seem like points in your path where there can be some catalyst, someone who can transform. It's interesting too that the month kicks off with take that again. The month starts with the moon exalted in the 9th house of Taurus. Taurus is friendly to you. The moon is the ruler of that 11th house, and the 9th house is mentors, teachers, and gurus. You know how to spell guru, don't you? G-U-R-U. I like that one. And I think that's what this whole theme is about, getting into the swing of finding your own self, your own spiritual peace of mind through the work that you do. And it's been difficult finding that peace of mind on another aspect here. We see Saturn still transiting your 4th house of inner peace, Mars in the 3rd house, which is your mind. Mars is really the most difficult planet for the Virgo sun sign, being the ruler of the 8th house. And as the month kicks off, it's directly aspecting the moon, which can make you rather hot-headed this month and frustrated with things, particularly in communication with people in the family. We're going to see, and we're going to talk more about that over the coming month or two. I keep alerting you to the fact that Mars, in conjunction with Saturn, and it's going to happen in your 4th house, which is a difficult one. It can separate you from family, it can separate you from friends, it can separate you from yourself. So you have to be careful to move into these next 2 months with an integral approach, an attitude of self-awareness, and one in which, as I keep saying in this particular reading for the month, the inner is balanced with the outer. Your relationships are ruled by Jupiter and by Saturn. So there's that Saturn, it's retrograde. Speaking about Mars, it's just moving into its forward direction now, in forward movement. And so we see that Saturn ruling your love affairs, and Jupiter also ruling your marital life, are all going to be in a conflict aspect in the coming months or so. Jupiter has still, well, actually we've seen the square aspect pass, but I just see that there's still more of that to come, especially now with Saturn and Neptune in the right angle. That's right now at the 1st of the month, a perfect square, 11 degrees of Sagittarius and 11 degrees of Pisces, showing the tension that you have in your relationships right now. And if you're suppressing those feelings, that is definitely going to explode in the coming month or two. So you need to find that way forward, not just in your work, through that spiritual connectivity that I was talking about, but in your relationships as well. Don't bottle it up. Speak about how you feel. And if there's some confusion over the way your partner or your lover is acting, now is the time to talk about that. I'll be back next month. Join us there at astrology.com.au for more detail on the coming month with the monthly text version of what I'm talking about here, and the dailies, and also the larger view of the year as a whole. Look forward to your company next month. Take care now. Bye-bye.